I'm Patrick Avenel and I'm the news editor at APN Educational Media. I'm joined now by Anna Johnston, the director at Salinger Privacy, to speak about privacy policies and how they affect schools. Anna, can you start by telling us whose responsibility is privacy policy in a school?
Oh, good question. It's everyone's responsibility ultimately. So the privacy law doesn't, say that it's the school principal or it's the privacy officer. The privacy law creates obligations on anyone in an organisation who collects, holds, uses or discloses personal information. They must understand what their privacy obligations are and they must comply with the privacy principles.
What are some introductory steps that schools can take to implement really effective privacy policies?
So I think the most important thing is to anticipate how they're going to want to use personal information down the track, and then make sure they have good policies and procedures explaining what they're going to do with it. But then make sure that at the time they're collecting it, say an enrolment form for the children, for the students, make sure that they're explaining to the parents, this is the information we're collecting, this is how we're going to use it, this is who else it will be disclosed to. So being understanding what's going to happen in the future and then being transparent up front to the parents or students about what's going to happen.
Are you able to give some examples of breaches that can happen in the school environment?
Yeah, so one of the risks is when people wear more than one hat. So you might be the maths teacher, but you're also the coach of the soccer team for the local community, and it's information that you learn in one environment, say from school medical records. If you then apply it in that other role, that's where those kind of dangers can occur, especially when people often think they're doing the right thing. They're thinking, I'm looking after the interests of the child, but they need to be able to separate out their role. What do I know as maths teacher versus what do I know as the soccer club coach, and try and keep those roles distinct.
And what should a school administrator or teacher do if there is a privacy breach that they become aware of?
Obviously identify school administration or executive as soon as possible. Depending on the nature of the breach, it might be if it affects a large number of people, if it might put students or parents at risk, if their information has been disclosed in some way, for example, they should probably be notifying the privacy commissioner and the affected individuals.
What are some of the current challenges of privacy policy and policy formation in the education sector?
So I think one of the big kind of growth areas we're going to see is the increasing use of data analytics. So you think about all the kind of information that schools might have about students, from enrolment, about their family background, obviously their attendance records, their actual learning outcomes, exam results, all the rest. Being able to draw all that good quality together to use it for important outcomes like predicting students at risk of failure or intervening when there's a learning difficulty, but being able to do that kind of data analytics in a privacy positive way without risking breaching anyone's privacy. I think that's going to be the future. That's sort of the growth opportunity, but also presents a lot of risk that needs to be managed well.
Are there any key differences in privacy policy between public schools and private schools?
The privacy law is different between public schools and private schools. So the Federal Privacy Act applies to private schools, New South Wales state law applies to public schools, or in other states and territories, it will be the state or territory law that applies there. But there's also a lot of commonality between them. So the privacy principles in each jurisdiction basically say the same thing. They talk about limitations on what information you can collect, how you store and secure it, what it can be used for, who it can be disclosed to. So there is a lot of commonality regardless of whether you're a public or a private school.
You're the director of Salinger Privacy. What sort of reasons would a person engage with a privacy specialist consultant?
So we offer training both face-to-face and online, but we also offer privacy consulting services. So mostly what I do is called privacy impact assessment. So we come in at the design stage of a new project, so it might be a new student management database, for example, and we make sure that the way it's going to be designed and implemented will be in compliance with the privacy principles, and we'll try and aim for best practice as well.
And where can people go to find out more?
Our website, www.salingerprivacy.com.au.
Anna Johnston, thanks very much for joining us today.
Pleasure. Thank you.